Dharma impels a man to righteous or unrighteous actions which produce good or evil results. Both the evil and the good operate as barriers to the knowledge of the reality which is transcendent and beyond such pairs of opposites. Dharma and adharma, righteousness and unrighteousness, may be compared to clouds of different thickness that hide the resplendent sun. What is called good is only a lesser evil. The light of the sun is seen in its full brilliance only when the clouds are totally removed. Likewise, the true glory of the self is perceived only when the mind remains free from all the tendencies created by its good as well as its evil actions. This condition of mind is produced when a man acts according to his dharma in a spirit of utter detachment. The organs may then be active, but the mind does not retain the slightest impression of the action. This is the meaning of Sri Krishna's advice to Arjuna to work and surrender the results to the God. It is the only way to exhaust the past tendencies and at the same time prevent the formation of new ones. By freeing the mind of attachment and delusion, a man ultimately realizes that his supreme dharma is to worship God and God alone. Abandon all dharmas and come to me alone for shelter. I will deliver you from all sins. Do not grieve. Thus, through our worldly dharma, we acquire fitness to perform the supreme duty of human evolution, which is the attainment of self-knowledge. The great Shankar, in his commentary on the Gita, describes perfection, liberation, as a state of actionlessness or non-activity. He repeatedly asserts throughout the book that action and self-knowledge are incompatible. This philosophical position taken by him has created a great deal of controversy in East and West alike. It would seem that this confusion is mainly due to a misunderstanding of inactivity and self-knowledge as used by Shankar. He nowhere denies the place of action for the security of the world order. He clearly says in his introduction to the Gita that, after creating the world, the Lord taught men both the dharma of action and the dharma of renunciation in order to ensure the stability of society. For both are necessary to man's welfare. Through action, man attains worldly well-being, and through renunciation, the highest good. But a man will not seek the highest good unless, through experience, he has realized the illusory nature of worldly prosperity. Action becomes for a spiritual aspirant a dharma, or means of self-knowledge, only when he performs it in a spirit of detachment, knowing that God alone is the doer and man his instrument. Otherwise, action feeds greed and lust and produces chaos and confusion and ultimately brings about the destruction of the world. According to Shankar, the Atma or the soul, in its essential nature, is one with Brahman, the Absolute. It is pure, luminous, eternal, and free. Birthless and deathless, it is beyond time, space, and causality. It is spirit and consciousness and one without a second. Being the embodiment of perfection, bliss, and peace, it neither changes nor acts, but Brahman or Atma appears to be active on account of the inscrutable Maya, a mysterious power inhering in Brahman, which makes the one appear to have become many, the absolute to have become the relative. The creation and multiplicity are due to Maya. Through its influence, names and forms are falsely superimposed upon Brahman. As long as one sees the slightest trace of duality, one is dwelling in the realm of ignorance or Maya. Action, described in the Gita as incompatible with self-knowledge or perfection, is always associated with the triple consciousness of a doer, an instrument, and a result. In every action undertaken by an unillumined or ignorant person, these three factors are inevitably present. The knowledge of the non-dual soul, or Brahman, is incompatible with the knowledge of multiplicity. According to Shankar, a knower of Brahman cannot perform any action characterized by multiplicity. That is why self-knowledge is incompatible with activity. Furthermore, a man endowed with self-knowledge feels no incentive to action, such as the attainment of the desirable, the relinquishment of the undesirable, the reforming of the impure, or the changing of one substance into another. All those incentives are found only in the relative world characterized by good and evil, pain and pleasure, and the other pairs are opposites. An illumined person sees Brahman or perfection everywhere, both within and without. There exists for him no imperfection or evil that he might change or destroy, for if he sees anywhere even a trace of evil, he has not attained the knowledge of Brahman. Other motives of action, such as inner restlessness, boredom, a haunted conscience, the desire for name and fame, and the desire for self-expression, are totally absent in a man of knowledge, who has found peace within and without and is constantly aware of the blissful nature of the soul. In his commentaries on the Gita, the Upanishads, and the Brahma Sutras, Shankara often says that action is proper only for an ignorant person. He uses the words ignorant and action in a special sense. The word ignorant does not have the connotation uneducated, but implies to a person who has not realized the complete identity of the soul with Brahman or the Absolute. According to Shankara, the knowledge of non-duality is the only real knowledge. All other forms of knowledge associated with duality are ignorance. Consistent with his theory of non-dualism, which also is corroborated by the inner experience of many seers of truth, Shankara characterizes even the highest experience of dualism as stained by ignorance. The word action in this connection refers only to that action which recognizes the multiplicity of a doer, an instrument, and a result. It seems to be consensus of opinion of Indian spiritual teachers that an unillumined or ignorant person, for the purification of his heart, follows karma yoga, that is to say, performs actions looking upon himself as an instrument of the Lord and surrendering to him in fruits of action. As a result of karma yoga, he gradually frees himself from ego, greed, and passion. As his heart becomes purer, he takes less interest in outside activities and pays more heed to meditation and contemplation. His attention is diverted from the outer life to the inner life. His outer activities are confined to the bare maintenance of the body, the entire mind being directed to contemplation of the Lord. Through such intense spiritual practice, his heart becomes entirely pure, and the purity of heart is instantaneously followed by the attainment of knowledge. Thus, Karma Yoga plays a vital part in the realization of self-knowledge. Shankara nowhere shows disdain for Karma Yoga. Does a man endowed with self-knowledge then remain inactive or inert like an inanimate object? That would be absurd. Inertia is a condition of weariness, indolence, or sleep. It is utterly absent in Brahman or Atma, which is all knowledge, existence, bliss, absolute. No two beings are further apart than the seer of tooth and stone. As dualistic action is incompatible with Brahman, so too is inertia. As a node of Brahman cannot work from any external motive, neither can he remain actionless like a stone or a stump. Then how does he move and live in the world? All this has been vividly described by Sri Krishna in the Gita, which we will be continuing in the next part. Thank you.